is up, my people? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your boy Nassim the Dream, and yes, we are back for the final edition, the last video for the Dream Experience of 2022. I know, very sad. Summer is over. Life sucks again. But thank God I ain't got no kids. I'm just playing with you guys, so all the baby mamas and daddies out there watching this, don't get offended, bro. I'm just poking fun. Alright, but yes, I will be talking about the festival that I attended at the end of September, my very first actual metal festival, the one and only Louder Than Life in Louisville, Kentucky. So guys, yes, unfortunately, this is probably going to be the last festival I attend for the year, very sadly, but listen, I did not end off a bad one at all. I am a huge metal head. Out of all the music genres that I can really speak about and really say I really adore on this channel, and to anybody that's ever met me, the root of the cause of my pure passion and ambition to want to dive into the music industry and just music community has always started with rock music, has always started with metal music. It's always been my deep roots, especially growing up. I've been a huge fan of some of the biggest names in metal and rock, such as System of a Down, Slipknot, all that heavy shit when it comes to Metallica. So speaking about the location of Louder Than Life, this is located in Louisville, Kentucky at the Kentucky Exposition Center, and this was at the very end of September. So I didn't really get to check out too much of a Louisville, but from where we stayed, it was actually not too bad. A little nice suburb area. I mean, it was just really cozy, a lot of cool shops. Now, for Louder Than Life, for my first time, I did happen to get a hotel for my visit, but they actually do offer a camping option, which I do hear good things, but obviously, unfortunately, I didn't really get to dive in to really see what the camping ground offers and just how it is environmentally. So hopefully that is something I get to check in the future. But yeah, overall the stay at Louisville was pretty neat. I liked it. And how about we just start with what is inside the festival, how everything is organized, how it's placed, and what I think about that. So the moment you walk in, we're already gonna see the Loudmouth Stage right next to the Space Zebra Stage, which is pretty much these two as their main stages. And then towards the back end, a little bit smaller stages where they switch off, we have the Disruptor Stage, and then we have the Revolver Stage, and then we also have another separate stage. From what I heard, that some of the natives that had already been to Louder Than Life for quite some years, they actually said that they just involved these two new stages. One had bands playing every now and then, probably like some upcoming band that's not really known, and then the other one was kind of like almost like an interview podcast kind of feel thing where they're talking to some bandmates and maybe frontmen and women in certain bands, and maybe I'm not really sure. We didn't really spend too much time over there, but I was there for an interview, and I thought it was a neat thing, especially if you're just in intermission, but just want to hear people talk. And of course, I'm using this map behind me as a little bit of a resource to refresh my memory. There is a lot of cool things that I feel like they added. There's a lot of things obviously going around here in the center. That's mainly where a lot of the liquor is. You can actually buy tobacco there. They have a lot of cool art crafts there, like art tents where you can go check out art displays. Really cool shops that they sold like guitars. There was some really cool novelty shops as well that I really spotted that I did want to buy stuff from, but I didn't really get the chance to because I did prioritize my money for not only like essentials, but also for when I plan to go to the mall out there. But yeah, how about we talk about the headliners, the lineup of Louder Than Life. If you didn't already check out my lineup reviews part 2 for 2022, this is actually the last one in that video that I talked about, so definitely go check out that video after this to go see my full thoughts and breakdowns on a bunch of lineups, including Louder Than Life. But yeah, just briefing through the headliners, we had bands like 9 Inch Nails, we had Slipknot with the one and only iconic Kiss, and then the Red Hot Chili Peppers closing us out for Sunday. So just based off the lineup, I was already really loving what I was seeing. They had a lot of bands that I wanted to check out, and then 4 days, you can't really go wrong. A lot of great sub-headliners, a lot of just great art fillers, just filling in for the rest of the day, and I thought it was really good, especially for the price, starting at, I believe if you get the first tier, you probably leave there $250 with fees maybe. I'm not really too sure. I know it's around $200 for 4 days. That is not bad at all. One thing that I think was really great, but at the same time kind of takes away from the festival. So like I said, they had these stages grouped up, right? I think that made it a little bit more complicated and a little bit visually not as appealing, though I think they did their best. And honestly, taking it for what it is, it's honestly still pretty great. Sure, it did feel a little bit awkward with, like, I mean, the alignment of where you're at. It didn't really feel right sometimes. They also utilize, like, the screens on the other stage that's not being used while it's being set up. It kind of feels like one giant stage at the same time for both of these areas, which is, I mean, it's still pretty cool. I'm glad that they did that, because if they didn't, I don't think I would really like it that much. The scheduling is actually what makes this really great. So they had things pretty tight. So they'll have one band play, and then shortly after they're done, about 5 minutes after, the next band comes on the other stage, and while that band is playing, while the other stage is vacant, they're up there setting up for the next band or artist. So in terms of just keeping things on pace, keeping things going, I thought it was a great idea. Honestly, it made me forget about the whole thing about just like imagery wise what it was really doing for me artistically, but that was kind of all out the window at that point. I didn't really care about where they were placing their stages, because I really thought the schedules were pretty efficient. Briefly talking about some of my favorite sets, Slipknot, obviously really great set. I do wish that crowd had more energy to them, because I saved all my energy for that set for that day, and no pits next to me, and sucked. Slipknot was still great, don't get me wrong, they were fucking awesome. Suicide Silence was a fucking show, boy. That shit was a show, boy. God damn. I think that might have been my first Wall of Death. Tenacious D was also a very heartwarming performance. I'm really glad I got to catch them. Bring Me the Horizon easily stole the show. I had a great time at Bring Me the Horizon. Seeing them for the first time at Louder Than Life made my experience in Chicago a few days ago even just more better. I appreciated seeing so many legends on this weekend, seeing Rob Zombie, seeing Allison Cooper, Kiss. It was just great. I felt like I was in my element when I was at this festival, honestly. It was so great, so rock. It was just, I loved everything about it. I really did. But now, I want to get deeper into some of the positives and negatives that I really want to share with you guys about the festival. I'm going to start out with the positives. There's a pretty great selection of hydration stations nearby in most areas. I mean, you really don't have to wait for water, honestly. There's always somewhere where you can get it from. There's like 3 or 4 barrels in one area. They had a bunch of like different areas where you can like fill up like an actual water bottle. I really thought they had an authentic beverage selection, or just a lot of food options that were really cool. I didn't really eat in there that much, but from what I was seeing in there, they had a lot of options, and it seemed like they had some really nice places where you can get some good bourbon, good whiskey. I had some areas where I got some, I forgot what the fucking brand was called, but some good tequila. And one of the most important things to really consider at a show or a festival, the crowd response. And when it comes to certain things, the fun parts about when they want to be interacted with, and then for the serious things, like when it comes to somebody needing a medic, the crowd was very good in responding. Great to see everybody take care of each other in the pit immediately when someone just hits their knees on the ground. Boom, immediately picked up within seconds. So everyone's making sure that they're following the rules and making sure that everyone stays safe, everyone has fun, and everyone has a good time. So transitioning in terms of the crowd response, in particular with the whole medic situation, that's where I'm going to transition into some of the negatives of the festival. So I felt like for a couple moments like that, the medic team, at least around the Loudmouth and Space Zebra stage, they weren't immediate. I just remember a moment, I think on Saturday, where everyone was throwing their X's up, and whenever you do that, that usually means that you need to stop the show and get a medic over there because somebody's hurt. I swear this area I was in this pit, had their X's up for like maybe like 10 minutes. Like that's too long, dude. Everyone was wondering where the medic team was, and then they finally came, and like it's not like the crowd isn't responding well and they're not cooperating to make room. They're cooperating to make room. They're trying to get you over there as quick as possible. And I feel like at the same time we weren't so deep in where it was that hard to get in or see us. We were pretty close at a certain point to where the front man, especially for Lamb of God, seen us, and he figured it out. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing I'm trying to shit on the festival for. This is something that is really skewed. Of course, they're gonna try to do their best and make sure they get the best for the job. And I really feel like this just is a big issue, because if somebody is really hurt, they should be out of there immediately. And like, depending on the circumstance, I mean, sometimes you just can't do anything with them. You can't move them, so you need professional help to get there so that they can help escort them out on a wheelchair or whatever. So yeah, that was something that I really thought wasn't really so great. I really hope isn't really continuous or common at the festival. But the biggest thing I had a huge problem with for this festival that really sucked, I couldn't bring in my fucking camelback. They wouldn't let me bring in my nifty camelback that I bring to literally every show, get the show off the queen. This is where I wanted to put their pin, but unfortunately they didn't have any. That's not the worst part that I have a big issue with. The worst part I have an issue with is more of the prohibited items in there. This was also a prohibited item, not just the bag. This, I asked if I can bring this and double checked on the website. It's a no-go. Dude, this is just the hydration pack. I don't see the problem with me not being able to bring this. Listen, I'm the kind of guy who's, when I'm active and when it's hot, I sweat a shit ton. It doesn't matter if I'm drinking or smoking. Usually, if I know I'm gonna be at these kind of things, I usually don't, because I know how quickly I can be dehydrated. So I usually have to carry a lot of water on me. That's why I always carry a bag on me, so make sure I have everything I need in here when it comes to sunscreen, liquid IV, all the water I need, extra water bottles for not only just for me, but for the people I'm with, or hopefully for some people around me that really need it. I had so many times where I needed to throw out something to somebody. And I had such a problem with that because they only allowed clear bags. So like I said, whatever, I found a clear bag on Amazon, worked really well. I was able to bring it to the festival. I liked it a lot and it helped out. It's fine. If I can't bring in the bag, it's whatever. It sucks, but it's honestly not that big of a deal. I just care about bringing in my important items inside the festival. And not only that, if I buy something like when I bought this shirt, to store it somewhere. And on top of that, you can only bring in one water bottle. One. How am I supposed to wild the fuck out if I had to keep drinking a 32-ounce water? It like leaves my body within an hour, and then I have to get out the crowd and refill again. And I'm not just talking about for myself. I feel like a lot of people can vouch for me and agree that they're in the same boat as I am, that they sweat a lot and their hydration is something to really be taking a part of and to really look into when it comes to them at a certain environment like this, especially when they're super active. And I understand it wasn't that hot, but the point is that this is a metal festival. People are gonna wild the fuck out. They're gonna get in pits. They're gonna throw hands. They're gonna go extremely wild. Like, this is one of the most energetic genres in the entire game of all music. How would you not allow people to bring in a hydration pack at the minimum? Definitely the biggest issue I had with it. I really don't see the problem with it. You're gonna allow people to drink and smoke inside the festival, but not carry a fucking camelback with them. The people that don't need to drink any water and can drink however the fuck they much and smoke however the fuck they much and be fine, bless your heart, buddy. But listen, I'm not that guy. And I also thought it was stupid that there was no free parking. This is the first one that I ever noticed that you can't park for free anywhere. It's another nitpick thing. It's like, whatever, you're getting your money, but at the same time, I'm already paying you. Overall, I did really have a great time at Louder Than Life. This was a really great experience. I love that I got to see some really big OGs, some bands I was really dying to see. I had a lot of fun each day, honestly. Besides the small nitpicks that I had to make, really no problems at all. Able to get in, able to get out very well, pretty quick. I really like Louder Than Life at Kentucky. I think overall this festival gets a pretty great green light from me. I definitely recommend it to anybody who's big rock fan, big heavy metal fan. They got some of the best on there. Really great set times. The scheduling was really great. That's honestly one of the best things about the festival. And a lot of great things to offer. Merch is okay when it comes to design. You can find something that you really like. But yeah, at the end of the day, Louder Than Life was a hell of a festival to end my year off to. So guys, let me know down in the comments if you've been to Louder Than Life before. Let me know about your experiences, your good ones, your bad ones, what you think about the festival overall. Let me know in the comments, guys. I definitely want to hear about that. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. And I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Doses.